Hey, good morning and welcome back. You are tuning in to another video, another Miss Steady Ready video. I stay ready so I ain't gotta get ready. And I just hope that everybody is having a wonderful and blessed Friday morning. All right, almost about to be the weekend. Turn up. I ain't turning nowhere, but the only thing I'm gonna be turning is the key into this damn door to go in my house and to turn into bed. So that's about it. That's as far as the extent of my turn up goes. But I am glad to see that you guys are tuning in to me. I appreciate it. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your comments. And like I always say, if you have any tips and tricks and things like that that maybe you see that I could benefit from, please share them with me. I am open-minded and optimistic because my goal is to grow and to eventually become monetized here on YouTube. Now, for everybody else that has been following, for those of you that have been tuning in with me, one thing that I keep speaking about is being consistent. And that is exactly what I'm trying to do, which is the reason why I'm here. But another topic that's on my heart this morning is narcissism. For me, how it showed up in my life is by way of a family member, my actual son. I have gone through a lot of ups and downs with him, and I love my kids unconditionally. You know, no matter what they say or do, you know, we love our children. But sometimes space and silence is necessary for your own sanity. At least that is the case, my case. The things that my son has said and done to me are things that, you know, it's hard to digest, and it's hard to even imagine that these comments and these phrases and these cuss words and all of that was coming from a child that I actually birthed, gave life to, sacrificed my life so that he could have life, right? Because every time you have a child, it is a risk that you may lose your life in that birthing process. The same child that I have worked for, the same child that I love, the same child that I told I love you every day, hugged every day, provided for, cooked for, did all of the parental things and duties that I was supposed to do, is the same child that I'm speaking of right now. All I got to say about narcissism is that it is insidious. And I didn't even realize I was dealing with a narcissist until I started doing a little bit more research. And some of the symptoms and signs that you're dealing with a narcissist, one of them, a big one, is their lack of empathy. They don't have it. They do not have it. And they shoot to kill, you know, in a metaphoric way. So the things that they say to you, they literally are trying to destroy you. They want you to have a meltdown. They want that reaction. They want to make sure that they have emotional control over you. And so one of the ways that they do that is the things that they say that can be very cruel, things that they know that may be near and dear to your heart, things that they know that you are hypersensitive about, and all of that. Those are the things that they're going to use as ammunition to come against you when you try to address something with them. So a narcissist is always right. It doesn't matter what the circumstance is. They are always right. So get ready to be wrong. And oftentimes they leave you kind of like in a brain fog. Like, you, after arguing or going back and forth with a narcissist, you will go to sit to yourself and start to question yourself, like, what did I do wrong? Or did they have a point? You know, make you second guess the reason why you're saying what you're saying to them, or make you second guess the issues that you might bring up to them, something that may be very hurtful to you, you know. And so in the spirit of moving forward, you want to, you know, talk to them about it so that you can hopefully resolve it. But when you address it and let them know how they made you feel or how they hurt you, they're going to deflect. they're going to deflect, and then all of a sudden you become the villain and they become the victim. And then by the end of it, even though you had a valid point, they'll have you feeling like you did something wrong. That's the narcissist way. They can't take accountability for anything. Even if it's right there, the proof could be right there in their face. They will not take accountability. They're going to figure out a way to blame exterior sources for whatever their shortcoming is, right? So if they're junky, they're going to say, well, didn't you notice that maybe I'm depressed? Right? The fact that they're leaving food in their room, the fact that they're, leaving all kinds of nastiness that could create a pest control problem in your house, they're going to say, well, didn't you notice? Don't you know what depression looks like? What does that have to do with you taking your dirty dishes downstairs? What does that have to do with you cleaning up after yourself as a grown adult? That's just a small example, but I'm just saying, this is the stuff that they do. So anyway, for me, the way that I'm healing from this encounter is not giving it any more attention. Narcissists love to know that they've gotten under your skin. So when you go silent, you go cold, and you go ghost, which is something that they like to do to you, they can't take it. And then they're going to go and do a smear campaign to tell everybody about how horrible of a person you are, and the reason why you guys don't talk to no more is because of what the other person did, and all of that to set up, because every parasite needs a host. So all of that is the setup so that they can go and have people to rally behind them, and that will also support their delusion. Right? That is what they do. But if you don't give it any more time, don't give it any more attention, even when they do things that are small or petty, just don't even react. They hate to be ignored. How many of y'all can identify with this? Like, it doesn't have to be, whoever it is, whatever type of relationship it was in your life. Have you yourself ever experienced a narcissist, or can you relate to some of the things that I'm saying in this video? For me, I'm okay with the relationship being cut off right now, because I know that the person that I raised is not the person who was in my house talking to me crazy. That the person that I raised would have never done that. And sometimes narcissists they hide in plain sight. They hide in plain sight. For me, it hurts, but what hurts even worse is being uncomfortable and having anxiety and feeling threatened in my own home. Who wants to live like that? This is my house, right? I sacrificed, worked, saved up, and closed on this house. So I shouldn't have to walk around on eggshells or feel that I am around someone that does not care about me, doesn't like me, doesn't love me, someone who is unempathetic towards me, especially the fact that I'm dealing with grief and loss. You guys can learn more if you go watch my previous videos. If you want to know what really happened, you can go watch my previous videos. But at the end of the day, it got to a point where I'm like, okay, so if I can't say nothing to you, I can't address anything that you've done to me, I can't be honest with you, I can't give you constructive criticism, I can't say anything to you without being disrespected, being disregarded, what are you doing here? Because as a parent, I'm not saying that it's right for us to browbeat our children. It's not okay for us to provoke our children, which is the reason why when I've taken it too far in the things that maybe like in a heat of the moment, if I've taken it too far and I say something, I have no problem with taking a moment, taking a beat, and then coming back to try to talk about the situation. That's the part of me that's the part of me that's called a conscience, right? I have a conscience, and I also am accountable for what I do. Sometimes when I have said or done things, I feel terrible about it because my intent is never to be cruel and to hurt somebody. Like, that's not just what I want to do. But I am a human being, and if I get mad and you're cussing at me, you're yelling at me, you're disrespecting me, then it comes back. You get what you give. But at the end of the day, if I realize that what I've said is wrong, if I realize what I've said has hurt you, I have no problem coming back to apologize, number one, and number two, to just have a conversation to try to reach some type of resolution so that we can squash it, forgive, and move on and learn from our mistakes. That's what being accountable looks like. That is something that a narcissist don't know anything about, because they never feel like they've done anything wrong, and they're not going to show remorse. They're not going to come at you and just really come at you humble and acknowledge what they've said and done as being a weapon that they use to hurt you. They're not going to do that. So for me, because I know that if I apologize, when I have tried to apologize, it falls on deaf ears. Nobody wants to hear it. You know, my son, he doesn't want to hear it. You know, it's this, that, and the other. You got to just let it go. Because don't nobody know your heart like God knows your heart. So while you're sitting up there and you're trying to pour your heart out and say, look, I love you, I care about you, I don't want these things to happen, I don't like the way that things are going between you and I, let's work on it. And they're constantly telling you that you're a liar, that you're this and you're that, and cussing at you, and it's just me. Every turn, everywhere you turn, they're blocking it because they don't want to hear it, because they have created a narrative in their mind about what they think that you are. You got to let it go and let them have that narrative about you in their mind, because they can't dictate and tell you what you know to be true in your heart. They can't. I know my heart and God knows my heart. And if a person that I'm talking to has no accountability for the actions and the things that they do, plus they don't know how to forgive, plus they like to hold grudges, plus the only thing that they can do is magnify the wrong things that you've ever done, and they can't give you any type of acknowledgement for the things that you've done right, which far more exceeds the things that you've done wrong, but they're going to focus on the wrong instead of the right. Ain't no conversation. Because at that point, you might as well be talking to yourself. All I'm saying is that for me, I done got off the crazy wagon. I done got off of it. And it doesn't matter that it's a child, that it's a husband, a friend, or whoever. If they are not willing to fix it because they lack accountability, empathy, and they are very judgmental, and they do not possess the ability to forgive, you got to let it go. For me, I didn't let it go, because I know that I was doing what God told me to do in that moment. I felt bad. That's God speaking to me to say, hey, all right, go fix it. And that's exactly what I tried to do. Was I wrong? No. I was addressing something that was done to me, and the conversation took a turn for the worse. So no, I wasn't wrong. Excuse me. But my delivery initially was a little strong because I was hurt. So it came out a little raw. you know, but it was no cussing. I wasn't yelling or anything like that. I wasn't spewing out demeaning comments or anything like that. So, but even though that was the case, after it was all said and done, I still kind of felt bad because it had been flipped around so bad. It had been deflected so bad that I was questioning, what did I do? Maybe I did something wrong for this to take this turn to the worst. That's what happens when you deal with a narcissist. They will have you believing that you was wrong the whole time. And you may have a valid point. And you know that what you're saying is true. But it's like, how can I repackage this and make it palatable for you? How can I eggshell walk this thing so that me and your relationship can stay good? No! You have a right to express how you feel. You have a right to say, look, this happened, and when this happened, this is how I felt in that moment. You hurt me. You have a right to say that. A narcissist don't feel that you do, though. Now, they'll tell you what you did, but how dare you tell them what they did? So what I'm saying is, if y'all are dealing with a narcissist, let them go. It's for your own peace and protection and sanity. Let them go. It's hard. You'll think about them. But at the end of the day, also remember how they made you feel. You can forgive them. You can love them. And you can even welcome them back once you have seen that they have changed internally, spiritually. It won't be something that they'll be able to say. It'll be something that you will be able to see. And until that day happens, stay silent. You do not have to be a victim of a narcissist. I have removed myself from the crazy train, and that is my child. I love him. I don't wish nothing bad on him, but I tell you what, you're not going to sit up here and disrespect me, the woman who gave you life. You're not going to make me feel like I'm crazy. You're not going to make me feel like I'm insignificant, like I played no part in the positives in your childhood. You're not going to do any of that and think that you're going to walk around in my house. You're not going to cuss at me. You're not going to belittle me. You're not going to disrespect me. None of that. Because I don't have to deal with that. You are a narcissist, my son included. You are free to go do whatever it is that makes you happy, because I'm going to do whatever it is that makes me happy. And one thing that makes me happy is being able to be comfortable and breathe easy and have peace in my home. How many of y'all know about that? If you are dealing with a narcissist, I want to hear your stories too. You know, share. I do reply. If it's something negative that you guys to say, please keep it to yourself, because I won't be replying to that. But also, you know, just be consistent. Be consistent in uploading on YouTube if that's what you want to do to start your channel. But more than that, be consistent on blocking out negative energy in 2025. It's 2025. Ain't nobody about to be dealing with all of that. Let them go have a tantrum elsewhere, right on outside of your life. Let them go and create a whole stage play about the drama that they bring, and let them tell it to a different audience. You do not have to participate anymore. Return to sender. All right, y'all. That's all I wanted to talk to y'all about. Stay humble, stay blessed, and 2025 is our year. So if you are thinking about starting a YouTube channel, go ahead and do that, just like I'm doing. I'm showing up for you every day. Make sure you show up for yourselves. All right? Take care. Peace.